Hey, people who are thinking about Tokyo Olympics, we know how safe Japan is.
But what if I tell you that there's recent news of a gun shooting in Tokyo?
Every now and then we will hear shocking crimes being committed in the land of the rising sun. I mean, the pandemic has definitely had an effect on our sanity.
And it could really get someone to take extreme measures to get what they want.
That's why just recently, weeks before the Tokyo Olympics is about to begin,
In the midst of the significant torch relay,
there was a shooting incident that took place. This is probably the biggest shooting incident in Japan's modern history. Let's take a look. And yep, there you go. Right there. That's the biggest shooting incident we had recently. Apparently, this Obasan is shooting at a torch, trying to put out the fire. And if you take a look at this intense footage again, look at how calculated she is in her action. This Obasan knows how to handle her gun. There's so much conviction in her grip. She shows no sign of remorse as she fires not once, but quadruple times. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, the horror. But not in its brutality. But instead, I'm talking about her carefully planned Olympics assassination.
Didn't even make a single dent.
And while she is an old lady trying to extinguish the flame, it so happens that the torchbearer was also an old man. Perhaps there's more than meets the eye?
perhaps there's more to this story.
Well, it so happens that the torchbearer is also a man close to this lady's age. Maybe Olympics is not the only flame she's trying to put out. Possibly an old flame of hers instead. Perhaps she's trying to get back to him after all these years of serving her bukkake of udons, which is definitely a real dish that she is into.
Shish, come on, Watanabe-san. Get a grip.
Well, the torchbearer also had quick moves to protect this old flame. We see him making eye contact before taking a brief 3 seconds to process what's going on. And when he finally catches on to what's going on, his first instinct was
To protect himself from the shots.
I mean, like, aren't you supposed to be there to protect the flame first?
Seeing that you're the guy that's holding it.
Well, this is probably the most hardcore exchange action we can get during this time. This infamous 53-year-old lady that could have successfully stopped another wave of COVID impact in Tokyo was eventually arrested under suspicion of forcible obstruction of business. And I guess it was a fair reason because she definitely knows what she's signing up for. But I gotta give it to her, man, for having the balls to pull off this stunt. Can you imagine what you have to go through when you decide to do something like this? Waking up in the morning and telling yourself that today is the day. Having to prepare the gun and get yourself in a spot where you can get a perfect aim. And if I were her at the heat of the moment, my emotions would undoubtedly take over me. And you don't want to just extinguish the flame. You want to send a message. And I would imagine if I were her, I would belt out my message with great ferocity so that everyone can hear me. Everyone could feel my emotions. Just like how she did. Yeah, I guess that works as well. I guess she is a pro for staying this calm. Even the personnel who stopped her was more worked up than her. Also, don't you think she did what every anime character who fights does? Right there, that's her fighting technique cry.
3倍、4倍。
Well, if you don't know what's happening, she is part of a protest in Japan where they are trying to stop the Olympic Games from continuing due to the risk of bringing in new infections and variants. I mean, not long before the game officially starts, the virus infection had already been reported in the Olympic Village,
Which is a place where the Olympians and the crew would be staying.
And in total, there has been over 50 games-related cases being reported. Yikes. So what do you think about this situation? Everywhere around the world, we're still trying to get everybody to be vaccinated. And having a massive event where you bring a lot of people at one place is definitely not going to stop the infection. I mean, look at these people. They are trying their best to stop an event that gathers everybody by gathering everybody together to stop the very thing that they are. I mean, I heard there are concerts in Japan now, so perhaps this is more a case of trying to not bring in more variant infections coming from other parts of the world. Sort of like we have enough problems in our own place.
We don't need new problems.
This is perhaps one of the hardest Olympics to organize. The pandemic, the blazing summer that's going on right now, the protests, gun shooters walking around freely in the streets of Tokyo. I don't know, man.
Well, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I guess that is it. Remember to give your boys and Akira a subscribe and a like, because I would really need the algorithm to bless me right now. And that's it for today's video. See you. Pew, pew.